What do you think's going to happen this week? I mean, with the whole Russia thing.
The Russia thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
At this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights, prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
Jobs of the past are just not going to come back.
Yeah.
When somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back,
everybody want them
well,
back.
how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do?
Everybody
I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how?
Obama.
What magic wand do you have?
I don't know. Biden's got it too, asshole. Apparently. God, split makes me mad. Somehow Biden found that fucking wand.
You found the wand.
Welcome back to Sanctimonious American Men. Today is Wednesday, 10-4. Happy birthday, Andrea. I am
10-4.
10-4, good buddy. I am Saintly Barnes. With me, as always, is Saintly Brandon.
Hello.
And we're here to talk some shite.
Back again to talk some shite.
We had some difficulties in our earlier.
And Jack, good buddy, fucking tuned in and said
10-4, good buddy.
10-4, good buddy. He said it's 10-4.
10-4, good buddy.
Yeah. Episode 67.
67.
Dad's favorite fucking year for Camaros.
Was it?
Yeah. And today was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. C.
Yeah. Up there.
Up there in
with
heaven.
everyone else.
Up there in heaven.
So, Andrea, which one you vote?
Oh, we got to quiz me now?
Yeah.
I got to remember names?
No, never mind. I just remember that when you were talking about birthdays. You said birthday. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Alchemy. Andrea Alchemy. How about that?
Well, that'll do. That'll do. Jack says we're good.
We're good.
Thank you, Jack.
Jack, thanks for tuning in. Randy, where the hell you are? Jillian,
Randy, yeah. What the
see ya. Chris, Eric.
Yeah, you were asking who Jillian was. I explained
Yeah,
that.
Jillian. What's up, man?
One of Randy's friends. We got once again, back to the skull. We got the production value.
Production values through the fucking roof here.
Yeah, look at that. It's suggested by Kristen. Again,
Actually, through the roof is the world's biggest skateboard, which I'm expecting to come crashing down in a minute now. Hasn't happened yet.
I don't think it's gonna.
I hope not.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah. So, anyhow, big week. It was a big week.
Big. Really, really big.
We had some riots in Philly.
Philly riots. Philly.
We had
Philadelphia. In Philadelphia. Tupac, who shot you?
Tupac, yeah. Yeah, we got some news with that. I saw a good meme. It was like, well, the aliens didn't work. Well, release Tupac's killer.
Biggie's next, right?
Yeah. Keep him fucking...
Now, the thing about that is that this information's been out there for 4 years, but I didn't pick up on it because I don't pay attention to that shit.
It's been out there for 4 years?
Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube. He's elsewhere. His name is DJ Vlad, and he does interviews, almost exclusively hip-hop. Not entirely. I've watched a few of his videos, and he was interviewing this guy who admits to fucking shooting Tupac, like, in the middle of his interview. I think he thought the statute of limitations was up, but it's a fucking federal offense, bro. There's no such thing there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not in murder, bro. They're still looking for the Zodiac killer, right?
They're still looking for that guy.
Yeah.
Never found. You ever see the movie Zodiac with the Jake Gyllenhaal in it?
I'm not sure.
It's all right. It's pretty good.
Movies I saw this week.
Movies you saw this week.
Let me think. I can't remember. I was supposed to remember.
I saw a couple Die Hards.
You watch Die Hard?
It's like on this movie channel thing, and it's
a little early, ain't it?
It's almost there.
Dude, it's barely October. It's not Die Hard. So you gotta wait till at least.
Well,
Thanksgiving.
I only watched the 3. I think I watched the middle and the end of 3. So there are no 1 and 2.
For you don't know,
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
One of the best of all
One
time.
of the best Christmas movies of all time. Yes. Absolutely. It's not one that I know very intimately, but I've seen it. I mean, you can't avoid it. You couldn't avoid Die Hard, even though I liked it.
Some people have.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has avoided it somehow.
Yeah.
All right. So what
Did
the
you
hell?
watch any Shoka yet?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
How was it?
I mean, it's a girls' sci-fi.
It's for girls.
It's okay that it's for girls.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. You know, I don't have any problems with
Star
that.
Wars is dead.
Yeah, it is.
It's not going to pick up any steam making that
Dude,
stuff.
I saw the reports and some of the commentary on it. So Disney has more Star Wars products than ever.
And they're selling less than ever.
And sales are down more than ever. Right? Which is hard to do, right? Compared to like 1977, right? Because the money was worth less. Everything was worth less. So
Yeah.
the fact that their gross
Is
sales
less than that.
less than that is fucking bad. Right?
Well, to me, it's like we're friggin' in some type of invisible communism, and they're just like, just feed them the shit. You know, like all the big corporations.
Well, that's just it.
They're just getting money to give us
Corporate communism,
crap.
which is, you know, when the government and the businesses get together,
It means something.
I mean, it's either communism, right? Because that's the state controlling the businesses, or fascism, which is the businesses controlling the state.
Either way, it ain't good.
It ain't good either way,
Yeah.
right? And it's never worked, right? I mean,
Well, it's working now for mind control.
this is the same shit they, you know, I hate to bring this up almost, but East Germany, we can learn a lot from fucking East Germany, right? Overall, right? And it starts with like 1946 and fucking denazification, right? Which is a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they just kept going. They didn't stop. They just started replacing, you know, Nazification with white or whatever, you know, Western, because West is bad right now.
Right. Everything's freaking crazy, bro.
Crazy, bro.
The thing with like Ukraine. What? Why are we giving so much money to Ukraine?
I don't fucking know, Brandon. Because here's actually, I do
You know why?
Because we could test shit. We can see how the Russians operate. We can get it into a live theater against Russians, a potential adversary, right? Not that we're going to wipe Russia out or anything. And we get live field testing and get to make it for profit, and, you know, some Ukrainians die. Now, this is the thing, like I've noticed, like it seems like we're able, well, not we, but the Ukrainians are able to replace material pretty quickly, right? But they're having a hard time replacing personnel, right? Because, like,
Oh yeah, did you hear about the Volga channel?
no, like
It's,
the
it's
river.
it's a channel that no Russians have set up for Ukrainians to surrender to.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called the Volga Channel. That's
Yeah.
a river that runs through Russia.
Volga,
Yeah,
Volga.
the Volga.
And they're saying they're pretty much giving up in mass because they're just being like taken out of the streets, thrown in vans, and
Right.
tossed off into the front line.
I've seen video. It could be faked. I don't fucking know.
I've seen more than one video of people being grabbed off the street from military men.
I've also I've seen that, and I've also seen mass surrenders. I don't know who's surrendering to who, right?
Right.
Or it could be staged. I don't know. I don't want to get too controversial on here, but I've seen videos of people surrendering.
You don't want to get controversial?
Well, yeah. They look like Ukrainians. I mean, you know, I can't really tell. It was
Wag the dog.
Exactly. But this is why we're there, because we get to test shit. We get to see how the Russians operate, right? What their system of operations is, how they go about waging this military operation, right? And we get to test our shit against their shit live
Yeah, it's a nice
for profit. We're not giving this shit to Ukraine. They owe us, right?
I mean, we're giving them a lot of money though.
Yeah, but they owe us.
So we're like giving them money,
It's a lend lease.
a lend lease.
Yeah. You lend it, you lease it, you bought it. That's what's going. We didn't just give this money to them.
Well, they're getting cash too. You know,
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting.
they're
cash.
getting a fuck ton of cash, just like barrels of it.
Right. To probably keep their society propped
Mhm.
up in order to keep trade going. Which are they trading with Russia? They can't be, right? They can't
No,
fucking
I
still
think
be.
they're still buying, maybe buying oil from them.
They're still buying oil from Russia.
I know they were a while back. They were. I don't know if they.
Jesus.
I mean, Germany just started buying.
So it's not an
gas from-
all-out war, right? It's if they're still trading to some extent, It's not an all-out war. It's not.
Well, how about this? Trying to put a stop to Ukraine funding. We get your boy there, McCarthy.
He got booted. Gone. Should have been gone. Anyway, yeah, he's gone, man. Fucking, he got ousted.
First time.
Is it?
First time in history, U.S. history.
Is it really?
Yeah, vacate this. Speaker of the House seat has been vacated.
I gotta look into Ruther B. Hayes' tenure a little bit more.
Well, supposedly that's what's being reported. Anyways, first time in U.S. history.
Huh, that's interesting. Now, who do you think is going to replace him? There's some fucking like I had to look this up. Like I read this like 15 times because I didn't think what people were saying was even possible, but apparently it's possible.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. People were saying fucking put Donald Trump as Speaker of the House. I didn't know they could pick anybody.
They can.
They can.
Yeah. Supposedly there are some other laws saying anybody that
protocols.
Yeah, if you're being investigated in a felony, you can't take the seat. So I don't know.
Like Bowman or something couldn't become it.
I don't know what's going on. It's so fucking kooky all the way around. I mean, Jim Jordan supposedly is going to step up and maybe take it now, and
that'd be okay, I guess. He's got a lot of.
I like what Tim
baggage.
Pool said about it. He's like, I can't wait for Jim Jordan to step up and take the seat of House chair and disappoint me.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. But Jordan, he's one of the most hated by the left, right? He comes.
Oh, they've tried to bring him down, saying he was like a friggin' pedophile.
Yeah, they tried.
In his wrestling, they tried to bring him down.
Yeah, they tried to slander him. They won't look at the fucking laptop though, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, and then this week we also had Jamal Bowman couldn't find the doorknob.
Couldn't, just pull the fire alarm. That'll open it.
Fire alarm. Get the fuck out of here, dude. If this guy gets away with this.
I mean, he's got to at least get fined. It's a law. You can't pull a fucking. But what about all that freedom of speech shit? And they're like, you can't scream fire in a movie.
Yeah, he just screamed fire in the fucking Congress.
In Congress, of all places.
Nobody's above the law. Apparently somebody is.
Bowman.
Holy shit, dude. If I ever see you, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. Straight up.
That's so stupid.
Bowman, I'm looking for you. I'm never gonna see him.
Justice.
That guy is so full. What a scumbag. Right? Where's he from? The Bronx?
I don't know.
He's from around here somewhere. Not that we're near the Bronx.
How about James Carville going off on the woke elites?
I didn't see that.
That was hilarious. He's like, fucking, if they just shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
To see that old fuck saying that on, I forget which podcast he was on. And he was like talking about a specific college. He's like, if the humanitarian services in the fucking, like, I forget what college it was, probably some woke ass college, but just shut the fuck up. We'd be way better off.
Yeah.
Because obviously this place is driving most of it probably. Hilarious though, watching Carville fucking lose it.
Yeah, I don't know him. I have to check that out.
James, you don't know James Carville?
I don't think
He's
so.
the old fucking raging Cajun that was fucking Hillary's fucking Bill's fucking campaign manager.
Oh, was he?
I believe so, yeah.
All right. They're close, real close, Brandon. They're in fucking Dutchess County now.
Ugh.
Maybe like 15 miles from here. The Clinton winery, right? They got a winery over there in fucking Red Hook.
Yeah, I bet Hillary does.
They do.
She's whining about something.
They got
all
a
the
vineyard
time.
over there, right next to the Astor property. If you don't know, Astors were one of the richest families in the world at one time.
What we got?
Well, see, we got this thing because we had an intro before and we didn't have any sound, so I'm trying to remember what we covered the last one. We talked about Tupac, who shot you, in the last one, right? We didn't.
I thought that was this one.
No, that was we've only gotten to the Congress and this guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got to Tupac.
So they made an arrest in the shooting of Tupac.
Amazing.
Now, this information's been out there for 4 years, but just nobody picked up on it. And it came from an interview with DJ Vlad and one of Tupac's fucking cronies or whatever. And he admits to shooting him, like fucking in the interview. And I think he thought the statute of limitations was up, and he had cancer at the time, so he thought he was going to die.
And why is it back in the news cycle now?
Because the guy just got arrested.
After 4 years?
The interview is 4 years old. That led to his arrest, yeah.
Jesus.
Now, if you don't know, DJ Vlad is a guy who interviews people mostly about hip-hop culture, not exclusively, but 90-some odd %. And he gets a lot of big names on his show, right?
DJ Vlad.
Some I recognize. There's other people I have no idea who they are. And I'm like, oh, this guy's relevant somehow. He hasn't had Cool JL. Cool.
That boy's got some muscle.
He's got some muscle.
That man's got muscles.
Yeah, he's a man, because I'm not fucking with that dude.
You wouldn't fuck with LL?
I mean, he's probably short, right?
I don't know how big he is.
He looks short.
If he was tall, then don't fuck with him.
Yeah,
if he's short, it's all right.
It's all right. I can find
Speaking of statute of limitations,
got that reach.
80% of Trump charges were dropped on this.
Georgia?
No, it was the one that they just fucking they're trying to screw him with in New York City and shut down all his businesses because he overestimated Mar-a-Lago and it's so nuts. The fucking case is nuts. The banks haven't complained. Nobody's complained, but the judge says we got you because you overestimated your things and your the value of your properties, and that's some type of crime.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's the wrong kind of witch hunt that we need.
So anyways, 80% gone first day because statute of limitations.
Well, the original charge had statutes of limitations on it, right?
Yeah, supposedly that's why they slow walked fucking Hunter's cases, because that his earlier tax cases tied him to the president. So they tried to just keep walking it until a statute of limitations.
Most scumbag shit, just like Jamal fucking Bowman.
So what were you gonna say? You were gonna say something about we need a
wrong kind of witch hunt. I was saying.
Yeah. What's up with the witch hunts?
Well, what do you mean?
We don't like this.
There was a lot less people that thought they were chicks when this was going on. Not back. Nobody was thinking they were a woman back when they were burning bitches.
Oh,
sorry,
God.
I'm not trying to. This is Sanctimonious American Men.
Sanctimonious. You got to say it every now and then. So we got a quota.
Got a quota kill. Need some massage.
You slime ball.
But yeah, I mean, that sure some wrong people were burnt.
Yeah, well, the other thing, it's fucking
divorce rate was lower. We're never burning these witches.
I guess I don't know what the numbers were back then, but I guess from the 80s to now, the numbers on single people have swapped. Whereas like men were like somewhere around 30% of men were single, and like women were, it was like 60% of women were single back in the 80s, and now it's the reverse.
Yeah, because you're all crazy. I don't want to. I just don't even want to go out there.
Yeah, because you say the wrong thing, well, you're a Nazi, or toxic. Can't go to the gym no more because you'd be put on TikTok.
Speaking of Tick and Nazis, Tick is a great history channel. I recommend it.
Tick.
T-I-K. I got this argument on Tick's channel about some dude talking about the Nazis followed Darwin. And I was like,
what?
There was some overlap between the two. Like, they looked at the world in a similar way, right? But Darwin was a scientist, right? They're trying to apply science to the Nazis. I'm like, there's no fucking science in this fucking ideology, you dumb shit. This is all fucking, I got the juice and nobody else does. I know what's going on. And
was it a lefty of some sort?
I don't know. I probably not.
No? Oh.
I mean, unless they're into history.
Right. I was just going to say they'll play anything to make anyone look bad.
Now, Darwin, I don't know much about Darwin. I'm not very smart about him. Right?
I ain't too smart
I
on
ain't
Darwin.
being too smart on Darwin. But I do know that Darwin claimed that the great judge of all this was Mother Nature, right?
Okay. The mechanics of the
Right. And Mother Nature's another thing like
science, but yeah.
Well, Mother Nature's like you can substitute God in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's
Yeah.
another like untangible thing,
Right.
like society. You can't really touch society, right? You can touch aspects of it.
Yeah, it's a thought construct.
Yes, and so I do know Darwin, even though he brought all the science up or whatever. I'm not sure how much of a scientist Darwin actually was, but he did in the end say that it's up to nature who chooses who lives and dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Natural selection, all that other shit, right?
Yes. We're well out of that now.
I think so. I hope so. I mean, like, all right. So, like, Darwin said, I do know this. He said that older humanoids probably had more in common with animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Theory of evolution. As time goes by, you evolve. And this is the part I never liked about it. Is because they always said life started in Africa. Humans started in Africa.
And
older humanoids were probably closer to animals. First humans came out of Africa.
So you think that's racist in itself?
A little bit, yeah, right?
Darwin is racist.
No, I'm not saying that he's racist.
That
right?
son of a bitch.
Maybe he probably was. He was a product of his times. When was he? In the 19th century? Early 20th, I think. But
so they're trying to rip down a Lincoln statue. No, George Washington the other day.
Oh, what the fuck?
Speaking of Darwinism.
Why are you ripping down George? What did he do?
He was a slave owner. So
yeah.
You just can't do.
He was fighting slave owners.
Well,
Everyone owned slaves. What
it's
the fuck?
just the dumbest shit. I mean, it's like what you just said. He was a product of his times.
Right.
You can't be that anymore, I guess. There is no history.
Granted, Benedict Arnold bailed him out, even though he's a traitor. Probably not his fault, but whatever.
But that's just off on a tangent, which could totally lead to a whole nother fucking conversation about how stupid people are when it comes to history.
We live in one of the rallying points. So, like, how far am I going to get into this?
A rallying point of history?
All right, so, yeah. There was Howe. He was down in New York City. The British owned New York City, right? They fucking went there after they lost Boston. And Washington correctly guessed that they were going to go to New York City. And he beat them there, and they fortified, and Washington lost. He retreated into Jersey, right? And Howe was down. He was down in New York City, and Bourrienne, I want to say his name is. I can't really. I'm seeing it in my head. He was in Quebec.
Ooh.
And the English figured, if we cut down the Richelieu, or St. Lawrence to the Richelieu to Lake Champlain to Lake George to the Hudson, we can cut the fucking colonies right in half. We can cut off all New England colonies from the southern colonies, right? And cut their trade right in half. And Howe, he was supposed to come up the river, right?
All right.
And he was supposed to make Bourrienne, right? Fucking somewhere around Albany. But instead, what happened is the English got defeated in Saratoga and Bennington, Vermont, and Howe went to go after Philadelphia because it was a more prestige target than Kingston.
Okay. Kingston, of course, yeah. Well, back then it was, yeah.
And after
it was closer back then, though.
Yeah. After he realized he fucked up, the troops in New York City tried to cover the retreat of the British by burning down fucking Kingston.
Nice.
And the people retreated up to Saugerties or Zaggerties, right?
Zaggerties.
Regrouped. Yeah, this is where they regrouped. Well, south.
It's pretty good distance.
It's a walk, right? I've walked it. It's a walk. It's a couple-hour walk.
I think we should bring back the old mascot for the high school.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The Sawyer.
The Sawyer.
With the beard in his head.
The bottle of booze.
The bottle of booze.
In his hand.
That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. That guy, he's from the 1600s. He's the start of the town, like he's older than America. Or United States, I should say. Yeah, I would love to bring him back. He was great, but
Maybe we'll just make Sanctimonious Men shirts with him on.
that'd be great.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Nobody would get it except for Randy and Jack, Chris. People went to Sororities.
That's 1995.
1995. Oh man.
So, well, let me see what other news we got in here. I mean, that was a nice little history lesson. I mean, if we don't get the memes, we get a history lesson.
There you go. You get a history lesson.
Barnes still ain't got his laptop, so send one on in. If you want those memes hot and fresh every week.
It's probably just the goddamn power cord. That's probably what went wrong. Because it was working fine, and all of a sudden it stopped charging.
You're going to get history lessons until you fucking get memes. That's all there is to it.
You want memes?
Send in the goods.
Send in the goods. You're less ways to get history lessons. That's right. Soon we're going to talk about the Dutch decision to prioritize everything underneath the 42nd parallel, which left Sororities out in the cold, and which is why I think Sororities should be upstate and not downstate. Because technically we're downstate according to fucking Albany.
Yeah.
We're in the greater metropolitan area. We're the last town north.
Well, that's such a big, question. Where is upstate and downstate split? Like, so many people have so many different fucking ideas about that.
I think the Blue Ridge, right? Now, the Blue Ridge, for you don't know, if you're coming from the eastern part of the United States, the Atlantic Ocean, and you're going west, you're going to hit a ridge. Right? It's not a mountain range. It's a ridge, right, of stone that just goes all the way, from West Point and Peekskill, all the way down to the Horseshoe Bend, right down in Alabama, Georgia. And on the other side of that is the Appalachians, right? So you're going to hit the ridge, which is a little bump. Then you're going to hit Appalachia. And Appalachia is, the Catskills are at the end of that. Right? And Appalachia goes all the way up and down the continent to Alabama, right? What the hell was the question?
Where's New York fucking split?
So
upstate, downstate.
I think it stops at the Blue Ridge. I mean, the Blue Ridge, right? Right where West Point and Peekskill are.
And then everything that's all downstate.
I would say so, because after that you're in the Great Valley.
Yeah, you're not in like a big fucking mess anymore. It's kind of small towns from that point on up.
Yeah, I mean, because West Point is right below Newburgh. I mean, Newburgh's
like the last big.
Yeah, it's a shithole.
Last big shithole before you reach upstate.
That's a shit. I would say most of Orange County's upstate, but that's a shithole.
Oh man.
But
yeah, I'm thinking when you're taking the train down and you start getting into the thick of the stops, that's when you're like
downstate.
Yeah, it's
next stop, Ossing.
yeah. That's, and once you get into there's a good half hour between stops, now you're getting into the upstate.
That's true. That's a good way to think of it.
I
I never take the train upstate.
You never take the
Amtrak going that way to fucking Rensselaer? Nah.
I've only taken the Amtrak north a few times, and actually it was mainly because, traveling cross country. So you're coming in from Chicago and you've got to come down fucking on the Amtrak.
I've driven to Chicago before. It sucked. 17 hours.
The train fucking sucks.
I bet it does.
Having to come through Buffalo and all that fucking.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Yeah, I bet.
Rough.
Yeah, because that train station's actually massive. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually too big. They abandoned it for a smaller one that was more manageable, and now it's in decay. Come on, Buffalo. Get your shit together.
Okay, so let's get into this.
What we got?
We've got a couple woke people, not that we want to wish harm on anybody, but people who are claim the one man who claims to be the COO of Antifa. He got knifed in the neck and died on the sidewalk 2 nights ago, I think it was.
Where was this?
Down
in
in New York City, yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Defund
the police.
Defund the police.
Right.
We don't need them.
We don't need them.
Let all the immigrants in. We want them all.
Oh, he got stabbed by an immigrant, huh?
I don't know who he got stabbed by, but he got stabbed by a criminal, and that's what they want. They don't want law and order in any terms, because obviously anybody that wants law and order is a Nazi.
It's not even that good of a show. Yeah, but anybody wants law and order is a Nazi, right? Yeah, that's. We're losing the definition of Nazi. Fucking, it was already on a fucking hurting path, right?
It was already hurting.
Like it was already lost, but now it's just getting fucking. We don't even know what it is anymore.
So, anyways, and then there was a woman, a tech CEO out. I think it was Portland, if I'm not mistaken. She let the guy into the housing complex because she thought he'd forgot his keys. And she was dead 45 minutes later.
Wow.
Being way too nice.
Yep.
Being like, oh, I'm such a nice person. This person needs to get in because they forgot their keys. It's like, you live there for security reasons, don't you? So you just let everybody in the fucking building.
Right.
You blew that security out the fucking window, and you got yourself killed.
Well, that's what's going on with like half the fucking population. Way too nice. I saw this thing the other day. This guy, he's going through the hood. He gets into a fight. He beats the guy, and the guy's like, "Let me up." And the guy's like, "All right," shakes his hand, lets him up, and all of a sudden he gets jumped. And I was like, never should have let him up. Fucking.
You just gotta put his teeth on the curb.
Just could have kept going because they were gonna jump you. So,
wow, man. So yeah, that is. It's a. I don't know why that's on. Like the trending topics now, it's like fucking comeuppance all of a sudden for like.
I mean, I've seen that so many times, where people like advocate for one thing and then it ends up biting them in the ass.
Well, that was like what's his nuts? Carl Benjamin was talking to. God damn it, can't remember his name.
Benjamin. Are you talking about?
He was talking to
The British guy.
Yes, he's
name-
British. He likes and
his channel's named after some Babylonian king or something.
Carl, is it Akkad?
Yeah, it's it. Yeah, it's like some Mesopotamian king.
Is Carl Benjamin fucking Carl of Akkad or whatever?
Yeah, Akkad. Yeah, it's the same guy. Anyway.
Well, anyways, he was on Dave Rubin's show, and he was talking about how now he's starting to see a different way about liberalism, and also how Anna Kasparian is fucking. He's like, oh, yeah, she's finally, it's getting, see, that's what these liberals don't understand. Once it touches you, then you understand.
Oh, then you understand suddenly, yeah.
Exactly. Right. Suddenly.
Right.
I understand. I'm a
look
fucking
in New York.
idiot.
And immigrants, right? Illegal immigrants.
Bring
them,
yeah.
as many as you want.
Before it was all great. Yeah.
Now they're here. No, don't bring them. We're full.
Kathy Hochul, Eric Adams. They're all like fucking. Before they're like, we're a sanctuary city. We'll take them. We're good people. And they're like, we're fucked. We could have no money.
That's like Martha's
Don't come
Vineyard,
anymore.
Right? How many did Martha's Vineyards get sent? 60 or something?
They booted them out real quick.
It's such a bullshit virtual signaling thing, right? And
well, that's all it is. It's like I'm empathetic. I'm so much better person than you. You're a piece of shit Nazi.
Right, you're a piece of shit Nazi.
I don't know why I go back to that every time, but it's because that's how I feel they've been treating everybody for the past 6 years. It's like, especially with Donald Trump, it's like he was like number one, like white dude in the black community, and then he runs for president, and it's like he's the biggest racist on earth.
Yeah, no, suddenly.
And it was just because the media fucking stomping it, cramming it down people's throats.
I remember I didn't know much about it. I was asking people about it. And I remember you were like, no, I don't think he's racist. And I was like, all right, but everybody white, I fucking know seems she's racist for some reason. Not that,
like, there's a picture with him and Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
There's a picture with him and Al Sharpton. Oh, it was all cool before that, when it was back then, but now, it ain't cool no more.
Keyshawn, shout out to wherever you are. He was another Trump supporter I know, black guy.
Here's some, I don't know, this is just gossip bullshit news. Taylor Lorenz, you know her?
Kinda.
She's just a big dummy. But anyway, she wrote a book and it's not selling.
Oh.
And she's an influencer.
Shocker.
Shocker.
So Ireland calls everybody out. Calls everybody's Navy out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They call that United States, Canada, UK, France, Spain, and Portugal. And the reason why they call them out is because the SS Yates, Ireland names warboats after poets. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, that's kind of cool.
Classy.
It's kind of classy. So,
Classy Ireland.
The SS Yates detains a ship that came from South America that was carrying 5,000 pounds of cocaine. And it was sitting off the Irish coast, right, in the Irish Sea. And it was sending little boats in to drop off cocaine.
It's like, yeah, I take a little, I give a little, take a little. Or no, they were dropping it off. They weren't taking it. And
No, they were just sitting off the shore and sending boats into the mainland.
Jeez.
And they were doing
to get rid of it.
To get rid of it. So they were doing this all throughout Western Europe, right? And Ireland's like, how the fuck did these guys get through all these people? How did they get through the United States? How did they get through Canada? They showed the route that they took.
Yeah.
Right?
It's because they're being paid off.
How did they get out of Portugal waters?
Mitch McConnell's probably got fucking
Who
part
knows?
ownership in that boat.
But
that
I mean,
scumbag.
You're talking multiple countries with decent navies, allegedly, right? That just let this fucking boat go by and hang out in their waters. United
Ain't
States,
got no
Canada.
sniffing dogs.
Apparently not. UK, right? UK, who threats Ireland all the time, saying that their navy has surrounded, didn't fucking find it, right? France, Spain, nobody. Fucking Spain, you've been fucking sailing for 500 years. You can find, get the fuck out of here.
You ever see that movie American Made with Tom Cruise?
No, I can't say I have.
That's something I watched like a week ago or two, and I was just like, holy shit. And I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story, and it's about him being a CIA agent in the 80s and just given like fucking carte blanche to do whatever you want. They're like, here's the fucking maps of all like every drug enforcement agency and all the fucking Homeland Security, or I don't know if there was Homeland Security back then. There wasn't, but it was the ATF.
Yeah.
They're like, here's all the stuff that's going on. You can just fly right through them, and you just got to take these guns down to South America. And this was all during the fucking
Fast and Furious?
No. Fucking Ollie North. Fucking.
Yeah.
Iran-Contra and fucking.
That was my first moment.
That popped my cherry.
It did.
My political cherry.
It did, because I remember watching it, and he was saying George Bush ordered it. And I was, you know.
And everybody's like, what?
Yeah, what do you mean,
that
George?
mean?
He's
You mean
vice
the
president. And he's like, no, the vice president, George. And he's like, that's not in his authority. And he said, you know, the president's senile. Who do you think's going to be running the country soon? And I remember thinking, how did they do that, Grandpa? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
And how come nothing's happening?
Exactly.
How come nothing happened? Oh, they're going to make him president now.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? I mean, I didn't really get into it that far because I was more like just skating and like popping Ollie Norths.
Right.
That was a trick.
Right.
Like,
see, I know, obviously I was fucking like 9 or something, so I didn't take it too deep, but it was the first like, oh, the government corrupt somehow, or, you know, people didn't, it was like a loss in innocence.
I'm sure it's still happening now. It's like what's going on with Biden and stuff, you know, they're like, the kids are probably like, what do you mean there's, you know, they're trading, you know, their name for money. Isn't that illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it's okay.
That's what happens. We have no real threats over here.
So the kids, it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
Doesn't get taken seriously.
They can't, what are they going to do? Cross oceans and come get us? Fuck you. It's a free
You
fall.
think, I've been hearing this maybe in a couple places, but the one person I heard yesterday was saying China's pretty much going to collapse anytime soon. They're like thinking it's over and done with. They don't have enough fucking young people from their dumbass fucking policy for one child only through the 80s or 90s, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's been going on.
And they've doubled pretty much their prices on everything. Like, you know, they've been cooking the books.
Oh, they've been cooking
for
the books.
fucking decades.
We've known that.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
And they feel like that's what's going to trigger any type of world economic collapse in the next year or so, if it happens.
It would definitely happen. How many shits made in China within reach of us? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9.
Yeah, half a dozen things
Mm-hmm.
or more. A dozen things within reach.
So I'm gonna have to learn how to make all this stuff real quick and sell it.
Well, the Mexicans got us.
You think Amazon's gonna be flying out of Mexico after that?
Yeah, they've made all kinds of deals for production in Central and South America, which is what we really need, right? And now the problem was back in the Cold War is that those countries weren't very developed, right? They didn't have much of an infrastructure. So your options were to stay in the West with an infrastructure and an army, or you can go to a communist country that has infrastructure and an army, but they're going to take your shit. It's not going to be yours.
Oh, you think you have intellectual property?
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Apple is now mine.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, we really need to do trade more with Central and South America, and we need to get rid of the Cuban government.
Cuba?
Yeah, it's
You had
fucking
enough
time.
of them?
But yeah, what the fuck? Why are we fighting in Afghanistan but not Cuba? I mean, I understand why, but because it's over there and there's violence and we don't want it to spread and yada yada yada. But the U.S. has enough influence where they could just be like, Cuba, what the fuck, stop.
Well, I know it's all just part of the making money.
Yeah, they're
You
making
gotta
money.
make money, man. And why? It's way more lucrative to send it over the seas than fucking down south.
Yeah, until we go to war. Then we can't. Check this out. This is how much suzerainty of fucking Japan is, right? Do you know what a suzerainty is? A suzerainty is it's a nation that basically doesn't run itself, right? It's
Okay.
It's like a satellite state, we would call it. It's more usually like reference to like monarchs, right? But it's still a thing. And so Japan, for you who don't know, is a country that we conquered outright. It's an all-out surrender to the United States, right? And so from that point on,
Can you say with any more glee?
Yeah, we fucking wiped them. And they surrendered to us and solely to us. And since then, we've occupied Japan nonstop, right? Same thing with Germany and Italy.
Yeah, they're a country.
They're a country, right?
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Right. Germany's more of a country than Japan, I would say. But it's a different thing, even though Germany has less, because they have more diversity, they have less freedom, right? And people were more scared of the German ideology than they were the Japanese one.
Sure. Yeah. They didn't want Germans coming back.
Anyway.
For nothing.
So,
I mean, that was the same, like we discussed after the First World War. The same shit. They were like, Germans, no.
yeah, they got pissed at the Germans, even though they didn't start the war. Even though the Germans were winning the war, they still got screwed. Anyway, so since 9/11, we've been loosening up on our control of Japan to some extent by allowing them to form a military.
Mm-hmm.
And we've loosened regulations of what they can have and whatnot. And so Japan decided, well, I really got to, there's a preference back to China. So here's what China did this fucking week. China makes a lot of shit, right? And they have their own idea about the world, right? And so they have this plan where they have this 10-dash line, or sometimes it's the 9-dash line. Used to be the 8-dash line. I'm not really sure how. Anyway, it's these claims that China has made over other territories that are contested, right? That the UN has says, China, those aren't yours. Those are contested, or those are given to somebody else. And because China makes the maps, right? So like, a globe, like fucking Nat Geo globe or something. Whoever is printing their shit in China, China went out and decided, yeah, we're gonna make all these maps show that this territory belongs to China. I don't give a fuck what these people order or what they want. This is
Right.
law now. Any map coming out of China says this. And so China did that
This week?
this week, yeah.
They made those moves?
Yeah, they just stopped printing any other maps, right? Because they print a lot of shit over there, right? And so anybody who ordered stuff, so like McNeely, right? They came back and got their globe, and it shows all these new territories to China. You're such a fake asshole, China. So, Japan has been building this base, right? That's within this contested territory, and they've almost got it done. And then we were like, "Yeah, we think we're going to use that base." The Japanese are like, "What? We've got this whole defense. Yeah, we're going to use that."
Oh my!
Finish building it. We're going.
When was this?
This week. The Biden administration was like, "Yeah, we're going to
God.
use that base when it's done."
That's a nice base you got there.
That's a nice base.
I think we're going to use.
I think we're going to use that one. Yeah. Now we're going to allow Japan to use it so much, but when you start talking about like the number of like material that the U.S. has compared to Japan militarily, it's just fucking ridiculous. All right, so I don't even know how many jet fighters Japan has, but they were planning on keeping their 3 there, and we're like, nah.
Yeah, you can pull them around back.
Right back. We got 1,000 coming in.
You got that aircraft carrier coming in. You know, they got any? No, they ain't got shit now, right? As far as
they have an aircraft carrier that they bought from Ukraine. The fact that Ukraine had an aircraft carrier fucking kills me. And they're still trying to build one, but allegedly, I don't know how this is even possible. I find it hard to believe, but allegedly, this is true, that they've never been able to land on one yet. We were doing this before fucking World War II.
Yeah, I imagine it's pretty tough.
I'm sure it is, but we've been doing it for 100 years almost.
Nobody's giving them any tips.
I guess not, because China's got no real friends. It's got North Korea, right, which it kind of uses as a buffer state between it and South Korea, right, which is basically, even though South Korea isn't a suzerain, it's highly influenced by the United States and the West, right?
Oh, that's what this fellow was saying about. He's like, there's these companies that watch like lights over nations.
Yes.
And that's how they figure out how wealthy or something the population is. Because if it's like North Korea is like completely dark at night.
Yeah.
Fucking, and they're saying that China is getting darker.
Oh, makes sense.
Because
tofu construction.
Well, whatever. They're saying they're rich, but it's not fucking. It's not what the fucking lights are saying.
Right. Now back to China collapsing. All right. Here's the problem with China. It's totalitarian. It's authoritative. It doesn't care about its people.
Yeah.
So they can make a lot of people suffer and keep the Communist Party in control for a long time because they got a lot of fucking people.
It's been done before.
Right, it's been done before. Yeah. And that's the problem that worries me. If China's going to fall, how shitty are they going to make it for everybody else and their own people, including it? Like, how much are they willing to sacrifice? And I think it's a lot.
Dude, I mean, they could just order people to go friggin' go.
Give me your liver. I'm selling it.
You never know. It turned into friggin'.
I mean, the Belt Road initiative's pretty much failed, right? Myanmar. They're going to invade fucking Myanmar, I'm telling you.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
We don't want I mean, that is just drastic changes for the world, us included.
If China's got to fall, they got to fall. You know, who am I to step in the way?
What I also don't know is like, well, it's a world recession, okay? That's what supposedly, everybody's talking about in the next year or so. Fucking, or not even a recession, a fucking depression. Yeah,
Could be.
The whole market, the world market, and it's like, but if everybody just kept working, wouldn't it be fine? I guess it turns to the energy companies then.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. I mean,
because if you can't pay for your energy, then that's what they're talking about with the lights going out.
I got a way to fix it. Europe, fuck you.
Europe, fuck you.
Fuck you.
They're already saying fuck you to the rest of the world.
Africa, fuck you. The whole fucking Eastern Hemisphere, fuck you. I mean, we have more than enough over here, right? We're not going to die from starvation unless they really fucked us up on purpose, right?
Right.
Which they could.
Well, Biden could fuck up anything on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Obama said that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Barry.
Old Barry.
Barry did say that.
And, I mean, because, like, all right, so we got some beef with, like, Colombia, right? And some beef with, like, well, Cuba, right? We've had beef with Chile in the past, Uruguay, right? Paraguay. But really, most of the nations in the Western Hemisphere get along. There hasn't been a lot of wars over here, at least not in a long time. I mean, the Canadian border is completely unguarded, right? Nobody gives a shit. For the most part, I mean, even Mexico, the Mexican government gets along well with the United States government, right? We haven't had a tiff in over 100 years or anything, besides some migrant worker thing. Pancho Villa and all. Fucking,
Pancho Villa.
But for the most part, it's been pretty fucking peaceful. All the nations get along. They usually agree. We're pretty good at keeping old treaties with each other for some fucking reason that predate our countries.
Mm-hmm.
Though Canada, you've been getting a little bit uppity about our right to fucking traverse the fucking continent to get to Alaska lately, since the Northwest Passage has been open and trying to charge us.
They're also getting mighty fucked up with the internet. Same with Europe.
Yeah, Canada's got that internet law.
Mm-hmm.
They've always had stricter FCC, what we would call FCC laws, right? And they've always monitored their communications more than we did. They had a thing where, like, I can't remember what the percentage was. It was either like a fifth or a tenth of everything on Canadian television had to be Canadian. It's probably a fifth, because a tenth would just be like normal percentage comparatively between the United States and Canada.
Well, that's nice, looking out for themselves.
Yeah. I mean, that's why there's so many celebrities.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because they were on TV in Canada and they got a name, right? I mean, there are only 30 million people or something. Maybe a little bit more. Which is like, 10% of our population.
I forget what they said as far as it's not even California or something. No. I forget maybe even a fucking city.
What?
All of fucking Canada.
Oh, in New York City, yeah. The greater metropolitan area, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, New York has what, 18 million, 19 million? That's 2/3 of their population. That's their two biggest provinces, right? Yeah, I guess they're called provinces. Then they got 3 territories, I think. One of them they invented since we've been alive. They have like a new territory that showed up on the map. I remember like kicking like, what the fuck? Nunavut? I don't fucking know.
Nunavut?
Something like that. Where Henry Hudson died.
Oh, Henry Hudson.
Yeah.
Going up the Hudson. And them natives beating on the friggin' drums out in the woods.
He said this was the land of the loving people.
Cool.
Like they hung out and had dinner and kept trying to like keep them.
Fucking party.
Yeah, hang out, dude. Where you going? Now the thing is like by the time the Dutch come back, they're different people.
What do you mean, going up the river and back down the river?
Yeah, so like one of his guys, his captain, helped the Dutch East India Company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, there were different people here before. And we know that the Esopus were transplants, right, from down. They got kicked out by other Indians and got moved up here to the border. The Algonquin were like, yeah, go live next to the Iroquois. They're cool. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You'll be okay.
We'll be okay. All right. Wait, aren't we? No. You're fine. They're very nice. Learn the language. You'll get along. Anyway, yeah, that didn't work out for them. Everybody fucking hated them. I've read the court reports because the Dutch had laws just like anybody else, and I've read the Esopus accounts, and
you and this damn Esopus stuff again.
I'm just saying, I like to read history.
I like to read about Esopus and
I did. And everybody around them was like, yeah, nah, they're at fault.
Oh man.
And, like everyone was like, all right, well, they were talking to the WAP and he's like, this isn't going to like affect our relations. We just want to know what you think. And they're like, yeah, they're at fault. These helpers are at fault. I'm not sure if the Wapanese actually believed that they weren't going to be held accountable or that it wasn't going to affect their relation with the Dutch, but yeah, all the Indian tribes are like, yeah, they're fucked up. That's why we moved.
They didn't have any Italian relations.
No Italians now. No, Hudson.
The Wapanese. You never know.
Wapanese, yeah. Oh, Wapinja? I'm not. I don't know what the hell their name is.
God.
Wapinja? Wapanese?
How about did you see Mark Dice trolled fucking Fox News?
Yeah, I did.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny. Britney Spears did something with knives, apparently.
Oh my God. I didn't see it, but I saw a big old knife and she's like
dancing with knives.
Got kooky eyes on.
Yeah.
I just thought it was hilarious. I saw the meme. It was like with the idiot that said like 10 years ago, leave Britney alone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it says, what happens when you leave Britney alone?
I didn't think it was that big deal. She was just dancing. She had some knives in her hand. Big deal.
She's trying to get some attention.
Sure. Shows her tits.
Oh, did you get your phone call today from the government?
I did. I was trying to avoid it, but I got a phone call right before that.
And you're on the phone?
Yeah.
Ah.
Don't call me.
They marked you?
Yeah. Don't call me.
I turned mine off.
I fucking hate talking on the phone.
Don't come.
Like I do.
Don't come.
Some people like, all right. So I know some people who are older, right? And that's like, they think that like texting is like avoidance or something. So they call. Which
yeah,
I understand. Okay.
I kind of get that as well. I used to think that way.
Sure.
I was a big person like, it takes you 2 seconds to just call and say what the fuck you want to say. Texting, I mean, I'm still using one of these, so it's a lot slower still. But on the newer phones, it's much more convenient. You just be like,
yes.
Whoop.
It's pretty fucking quick.
Just send it.
Let's see.
So the older people, you're saying?
Right, they'll call me because that's what they think is they're supposed to do. That's what they think is respectful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They might even see texting as disrespectful.
Yeah. Or they're just not part of that generation, whatever it is. Anyway, so I let them slide. But if you're my age, don't fucking call me. Just fucking text me.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I got more news or not. I think we might be calling it a little early today.
Let's see what I got. We covered McCarthy. We covered China. We covered
Elon.
I didn't. Elon going to the border.
He went. Yeah, he went to the border, and he also was saying some shit about Biden because Biden was in an interview, and they're like,
yes.
He's like, oh yeah, I think he's definitely, causing trouble, making misinformation. So Elon posts back.
That was a big circular
jerk.
Basically, yeah. Verification. Like I say something, and then you say it to verify it and use me as your source, even though I just
then it's good.
Yeah, that's what happened there. I didn't put too much in the chat, did I?
At least our man Russell Brand's still alive.
He's still alive, yes.
Fighting back still. He got a lot of followers. I don't think they realize every time they do that, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because more and more people wake up every time they try to cancel somebody. The only person they got away with was Alex. That's it.
Right, because Alex is flamboyant.
But he was also the first.
He was the first as well. My uncle, who was, he's a military guy. He's worked for the IRS for fucking ever. He was in Iraq.
Yeah.
Last time I talked to him, I was telling him, well, you can't get RT News on anymore in cable network. They fucking took it off. He was like, why? I'm like, when the war started against the Russians, they took off RT. He was like, what the fuck does that got to do with the Russian government? I'm like, I don't know. But and like he's been a hardcore lefty his whole life, but once he realized like they were censoring people, he was like, wait a second. Something's wrong. All right.
Well, once again, we go back to the freedom of speech. Like, the question of how can words like "I don't believe it's absolute" come out of your mouth? When that happens, something has to click. Like, wait a second, I just said something really stupid.
I do it all the time.
I mean, yeah, you gotta be admit you're fucking
An idiot.
You're an idiot. But when like someone who believes they're fucking super intelligent, they see an talking head on the news say freedom of speech shouldn't be absolute, and then you go say it to somebody, you think that would wake more people up.
You would think, right? But no. Like
Yeah.
I was saying before, like all this woke stuff we're seeing, a lot of it is just continuation of the program that they used in Germany after World War II, where, like, all right, so like in the Westphalian sovereign system, if something happens in your country, even if you didn't do it, you're partially responsible, right? You allowed it to some extent.
Yeah, same as like what they're saying with the Germans. Or like, how do we let this happen? And it's
Right.
like, well, every time they did something, we just be like, it's gonna blow over soon.
Right.
Something's gonna change
Right.
and it's gonna blow over.
So in Germany after World War II, they didn't want to hold the entire population responsible, right? Because that would be too fucking much.
It's just let's just fight genocide with genocide.
Yeah.
We're gonna put all these motherfuckers in jail.
Yeah.
For fucking 100 years.
Yeah. So they decided, well, they were brainwashed, right? And so they started this denazification program, right? And it was like a program of kind of like self-hate. Now I'm not saying like Nazis didn't need to be fucking shown the wider world at any point, because they definitely did.
They were all pretty well educated. They
Sure,
were very
they were,
educated.
very
people.
educated. But the program that they used for denazification, they just changed Nazification and kept going. Like they didn't
really correct it.
Right. They changed it to Western culture, right? You know, they white, right? Now you're white and now you're wrong. You're born of original sin, privilege, yada, yada, yada. And all this shit, right? And the part about it that kills me, this comes after like all the shit was just like declared a construct, right? in the early 2000s. But they basically kept that program going on.
Well, it's also, there's so many movements outside of America to destroy it.
That's
it's like we've talked about the Yuri Bezmenov fucking thing. So it's like coming from so many different sides. China, fucking, who knows what other type of, Five Eyes fucking bullshit could be going on.
Oh, here's something. Haiti. We're going into Haiti.
Oh, I saw something like that.
And we're bringing every fucking 2-bit fucking army with us that we will sign up.
Scrap up.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't have any real influence. I think the Cayman Islands are on board. Dominican Republic, obviously. Mongolia, I saw, was going to help. I'm like, what the fuck is Mongolia going to do?
And how does the State Department go about, like, making this fucking coalition?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, who decided, like, yeah, we need, Suriname to help us? What? I mean, sure, you can't take as much help as you can, but they didn't ask Britain. They didn't ask France. They didn't ask anybody.
They didn't ask anybody that's going to fucking be like, what the fuck? Wait a second. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They didn't ask anybody had any kind of influence. I think the Cayman Islands are helping us.
Or a type of fucking, they didn't have any type of, ask anybody that has a review fucking, like, or a code of decorum or something like that, where it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to have people looking at stuff.
Dude, I was in Cayman waters. It looked like that the islands are like fucking 15 houses wide or something. Like, it looked really tiny. Like, there was like no room for anything. It was just like all of a sudden there's these houses on the fucking ocean, and then it's not that high off of the ocean either.
I don't know what's going on, man. Maybe we're just gonna Hillary wants them islands.
They were crowded as hell. They were crowded. I didn't see any open spaces.
She'll fix that.
I guess so.
Yeah, that is weird. But yeah, getting back to like how many different people and nations and fucking institutions have wanted to like make America fall, probably for whatever reason. There's a lot of forces to persuade.
Oh yeah, there's diehard
politicians,
sure,
young people, fucking.
Even in our allied nations, there's people that don't like us, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like
Looking at you, Canada. We know you hate us deep down. They're the least of the problems, though, right? Fucking
just saying that it's perfect fucking storm right now as far as like technology goes and fucking the way the rest of the world is at the just about to fucking collapse.
What do you think about Biden's Pacific initiative?
I didn't hear him fucking talk about it.
So it's basically a continuation of the Pacific pivot, which I was in favor of, but I understood there was repercussions and consequences. Right? I just thought that Ukraine was less a part of national security than, I don't know, 5 states and a bunch of territories that are in the Pacific, right, or border the Pacific. Anyway, we're moving more men to the Pacific, and they're talking about a draft again.
I did see that. I mean, we'll be probably out of the age bracket to be drafted.
We are.
I mean, what is it, 30?
I'm not exactly sure, but I know I aged out. What I did hate about that is I did it I wanted to be on top of it.
I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach.
I registered for the draft at 17, and then 2 weeks later we went to war for Iraq, and I was like, motherfucker, no.
But they didn't institute it.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
We threw a no-hitter instead.
So, yeah, but I have heard that they were talking the numbers out about having it's World War III, baby.
Yeah.
We might have to get in there. What's going to go on?
Right.
It's like how many kids we got.
Right. And it's like I said, we have no real threats. No one's coming over here. They all got bigger problems over there. Our biggest threat over here is Brazil, who's not a threat to us, doesn't want to be a threat to us, just wants to hang out. I mean, they're the second most populated country in the Western Hemisphere. They got a lot of resources. They're rich. They pretty much control South America. Or at least they're the dominant force by far in South America. They're similar to us. They got a cool flag.
They got a couple dope cities.
They got a couple dope cities, a lot of cool traditions.
They got some beachfront.
Aliens, for some reason.
A lot of aliens.
A lot of aliens in Brazil. It's a big area. I know that northern Brazil is closer to Canada than it is to southern Brazil. It's big. That's a big country, man. Anyway.
Damn. Yeah, that's a long one.
That's a long one. It's not like Chile, though. I mean, Jesus. Chile's fucking long. Anyway.
Anyhow.
Yeah, so we're going to a new Pacific push, right? And I see. I agree with it because I think, like, all right, so in NATO, the threat is Russia. Well, I think that, France, UK, right, our allies, our main allies, our core allies, which will include Belgium, right, because they've been there from the start. They're not a big force, but they've been there since World War I on the same side. I think that they're more equipped to deal with Russia than Australia and New Zealand is to deal with China, right? Who are, besides Japan, which don't really count because you're occupied, and South Korea, another occupied state, a client state, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Australia and New Zealand are as equipped or able to deal with the Chinese threat as the UK is with the Russian threat. So I agree with the Pacific pivot, right? I don't even think Russia's that much of a threat.
Well, you think it's going to help fucking with the Klaus Schwab at all?
I hope he has a heart attack.
That dirty motherfucker. You think it'll help with him at all?
He's another dude I would like to meet in a dark alley somewhere late at night.
That scumbag was on some stage just this week saying, I bet you that by 2030, there'll be no cars in California that will be owned by the people.
Why?
Yeah, he's
this
like...
hasn't worked so far. This fucking rent-a-bike thing, rent-a-scooter shit that they got going on.
He's trying to get rid of personal or privacy, or
they tried this in China, which is a communist fucking state, by the way.
Well, he's saying he's to a whole fucking...
And for you that
richest
understand,
people in the world.
in communist state, the state owns everything, right? So when you steal from a corporation or a company that fucking is renting out a car on the sidewalk in China through your app, you're stealing from the fucking government, right? The police, basically, you're stealing from. All right. Why do you think this is gonna work here? I don't know. Like, has it worked? Not that I know of. I know Philadelphia had some shit like that didn't work too well. But they had trolleys.
I just, we got to do something about that scumbag. I don't, I think he's more of a threat to the way of life across this planet than our Pacific pivot.
Yeah, I would agree. Charles Schwab is a scumbag. We've learned nothing, like I said before, from fucking Eastern Germany.
Yeah.
Right? Eastern Germany was the richest state in the Soviet Union, and they still were hungry. Right? They didn't have any fucking food. They had food shortages left and right. They were even allowed like Western products, right? Because West Berlin was allied, right? Which is a weird, really weird arrangement. No, that's like when they had to airlift shit into West Berlin. Do you remember that? Well, we weren't alive, but
do you remember that? No, I mean I've heard of it.
Yeah, we had to airlift shit. It was like a big operation. We had to airlift food and medical supplies into West Berlin. All right. And the East Berliners were able to get some of this material, right? Until they built the fucking wall. And then, once they built the wall in Berlin, like I've seen the charts according to the Soviets.
Uh-huh.
Once they built the wall, now this is something that the Soviets wouldn't necessarily lie about because they're looking to crush people. That, people going over from East Berlin to West Berlin dropped to almost zero. When they built the wall. Before, it was like the major way people got out. It was a loophole. Almost, right? I live in East Berlin. I could sneak over to West Berlin, and now I'm in the West, even though West Berlin is surrounded by East Germany. Anyway, they were the richest fucking state in the Soviet sphere. Richest satellite state, right? Per capita. And East Germany is agrarian, for you who don't know. The West took the industrialized part. And they only had like 15 million people, right? And they were farmers mostly, but they still had fucking food shortages because they collectivized the fucking farms and they fucked it up, of course. Because once you make one mistake with one farm in the collectivization, they all make that same mistake.
Yeah,
right.
You sent the orders down to them all.
Yeah. So they all starved. I mean, obviously, communist countries have some shit like, you'll live in this like building and that's taken care of for you, and maybe you work at the coal mine, the guy next door is an architect, you have the same house. I mean, I guess it's that kind of shit, like that kind of equal playing field thing, but that's no incentive, right? So I'm an architect, I built this building, and I live next to a guy who shovels shit for a living. Like, or not that that's bad, right? I mean, it's still honest work, but still, if you're an architect or you're a doctor or whatever, and you put all that time in.
Well, it's same as, did you get to watch Tetris yet, the movie I told you about?
Yeah, I saw that.
Same shit. Designer Tetris, fucking.
Oh yeah,
he didn't get a fucking nickel.
He got shot, and he was so surprised to find out it was a hit in the fucking West.
Like, yeah, he's like
fucking pissed,
sitting there and fucking got a little fucking DOS version of Tetris playing, and it's fucking on Nintendo over in America. People just getting gobs of money.
Yeah, he's getting shit. He's counting his peas.
He's living in fucking cell block basically in Russia.
Yeah,
that's what it was like, and the people that were trying to negotiate the deals were keeping the money for themselves at the top.
That reminds me. This is what I watched. No One Is Coming to Save You. Now, this is a kind of like a horror film, all right? But instead of like demons, the threat is aliens, right? And there's aliens in the movie, right? Kind of like Close Encounters. One thing I could say about this movie and how it treated the Greys or whatever is that it showed that there was some individualism amongst the Greys, right? Which has never been shown before that I'm aware of.
That the Greys think of themselves as individuals?
Yeah. Normally
I've
they're
never heard that either.
Normally they're displayed as like some kind of collective,
a
right?
hive mind. Yeah, or telepathic, so it's like they're all together.
Nah, this one they're talking, they're making noises, and they're talking to each other, which means that they don't have a hive mind, right? And they're disagreeing about stuff, so they have individual thoughts. Like you can't. It's not in English when they're making their noises to each other, but you could tell they're disagreeing.
They're subtitling it.
well, there wasn't subtitles, but you could tell why else should they be bickering back and forth. And so for me, that was like, oh, somebody finally did that. Right?
Yep.
Because I have this little story in the back of my book. I've been writing on that touches on that more.
You think they're individuals?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. If there are Greys.
Whatever they are. Yeah.
Whatever they are.
Whatever they are. But in this, in this movie, the Greys have like near magical powers, right?
Like elves.
Right. But this chick that's getting haunted by these Greys or whatever, she's on a streak of killing them. And she kills the first one by accident, right? And then she realizes she can kill him, and then she gets lucky the second time. She racks up like 3 kills inside of like 48 hours. It was all right. I mean, it was a spin on the alien invasion, right?
You recommend it. Do you recommend it?
Yeah, I would say so. I give it a 6
putting his
out of 10.
reputation on the line here, folks. He recommends
5.1 out of 10, maybe.
How about Aaron Rodgers calling Travis Kelce, who's some dipshit on the football team, Mr. Pfizer?
Why do you call him Mr. Pfizer?
Because during last week's fucking Sunday football and Monday night, they kept playing commercials with that idiot being like, go and get your new COVID shot.
Yeah, well, how many vaccines do you need? Jesus Christ. I thought it was like supposed to be one and done.
Yeah.
I got like one like smallpox vaccine when I was younger.
They changed the definition of vaccine.
They did. That's how the shit starts. They start changing the definitions. And remember that guy that
You're a conspiracy theorist, Nazi.
Well, yeah. If the John Burke Society was still around, I'd be a member.
I was thinking about being every time people are like asking me political persuasion anymore, or if anybody asks anything, just be like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, which means I'm correct.
Lately.
Yeah, which means lately I've been correct.
Just lately.
But I mean, Jesus Christ, you're trying to tell me the fucking CIA or the mob or whoever didn't have no involvement with JFK?
Yeah, they did. See, this is the problem. All right. Now normally JFK, all right, that was an accepted conspiracy theory that everyone just kind of assumed was true, right? No one really gave a hard time about JFK, right? Then the moon landing one came about, right?
That one's still pretty tough.
That one's still pretty tough for some people.
I mean, we're how far in the future, and we ain't never went back. No country on Earth has ever been there back.
Right, nobody's ever been back with humans.
Right.
There's been other ones, the Lusitania sinking, the Maine, right? There's conspiracies behind those, and those ones.
Pearl Harbor.
Right, Pearl Harbor. We had advance warning. We just wanted to get involved. That's why the carriers weren't there.
Yep.
But those conspiracy theories were always in society, right? They're in.
I didn't hear the Pearl Harbor one till much later on. I'd say
maybe 90s or something.
Yeah,
late 80s. Anyway, the point is that all those conspiracy theories never got anybody upset, right? Like nobody ever
all these years nobody got upset about conspiracies.
Nobody got upset. Like people maybe got frustrated or just didn't believe you or just didn't believe
What
it.
about the vote?
Oh Christ! Once that started to happen,
and Trump and Russia,
all that shit. Then you started to get villainized, right? And I think I was the only one disappointed that Trump wasn't colluding with Russia,
because you wanted to see PP tape.
Yeah, I wanted to see PP tape. I wanted to start a world alliance with Russia. Fuck it, fuck them all. We got all the nukes. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do now? We ganged up.
We ganged up.
We're the two biggest scumbags on the block.
Planet, exactly. That's what I thought. Let's just scum this whole world over. It's a fucking evil game anyway.
Oh my God!
I was the only one that was disappointed he wasn't, and was supporting him still.
Two biggest scumbags on the block, huh? Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, you were disappointed.
Yeah, I was.
I think that's a great future for the rest of the world. Nothing but Big Macs and fucking.
Yeah. Sorry, NATO.
Fuck you, NATO.
You're too rich already. Yeah. Now we're just gonna bring everybody in NATO. What's next? Like, come on.
That's one. I mean, that's the Klaus Schwab future.
And the thing is
all
like
live under my.
we brought in
flag.
Finland, but Sweden's having a hard time getting in because fucking Turkey. Like Turkey won't fucking stab us in the back if there's something that presents them better. They're stuck in the middle. Turkey, whatever the fuck their name is now. Turkey. They changed
their name too.
They changed their name.
Same time as Kiev went to Kyiv.
Yeah, I don't know that. It's Kiev.
We're gonna stop talking the way we used to.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Oh,
Kyiv chicken.
the fuck!
Kiev
I think me and Jack came up
chicken
with a
Kiev.
new shirt the other
Chicken
day.
Kyiv. What?
Compelled speech started with Starbucks. Changed my mind.
Yeah, it did. El Grande. I never got into that. I've only been to Starbucks like maybe 3 or 4 times. I had a moment there when they first came to New Paltz in the 90s. I was like, eh.
I mean, we got one right in town now.
I guess there's one right in town now.
Where the old DQ was.
Yeah, give me DQ. Fuck that place.
I will take a DQ over Starbucks any fucking day of the week.
I can't remember why I'm fucking protesting Burger King, but I'm disappointed about it.
I have to look more into that because I heard it might have been actual
Fake news?
not fake news, but sabotage. Like somebody was purposely going after, corporate fucking espionage. So they tied fucking Burger King to that fucking rumor just so they'd lose money.
Well, they're losing money from me, and I don't even know why.
Oh, it was because they pulled Russell Brand ads.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I wanted to
freedom
go
of
to
speech.
fast food this week, and I'm like, I can't fucking do it because I don't really care for the clown. I like the crown and the crown and the crown.
I like the crown
over the clown.
Over the clown.
Right. Which I don't know if anybody in the world. Something's always picked up on me about that. Like we've got like a jester and like a king. Anyway.
And what about Jack in the Box?
That was great when I was younger when they were in Kingston.
I used
to love going there. I don't know why.
Popeyes?
I never been to Popeyes, I don't think.
I think I might have frequented and gotten a chicken sandwich. It's not bad. Nothing crazy serious.
Where did we have a Popeyes around here?
Kingston. Still there.
Where?
Down by the all you can eat buffet Chinese.
Oh.
99. That's down there.
Wasn't there a Sonic back there?
There was. It closed.
And I've been there. I like Sonic because they got the roller skates. It's like the 50s. Yeah.
We should have hung out there more on roller skates.
We should have. It was like the 50s in that place.
So,
what other news?
We got Texas Rangers seize border island controlled by criminals for decades.
Really?
Yeah.
What did Mexico say?
Not sure.
Mexico, what's going on, bro? Why you got the aliens in there?
It says, on Monday, a Texas Rangers Special Operations Group planted a state flag in the soil on Fronton Island.
What do you mean they planted a state flag?
Amid a push to restore law and order in the border region.
What do you mean they planted a state flag?
It's a state flag. I guess
Come,
their own country.
No, they can't do that. We've already fought in a war over this. There's rules.
The island, which consists of approximately 170 acres of land along the U.S.-Mexican border, has been a hot spot for criminal activity and human trafficking.
If you want to put a U.S. flag and
then
give that to Texas, that's fine, but you can't put your flag there.
You got to put them both there.
It's got to be both.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking law.
Texas Rangers.
You
Come
can't
on, man.
Put a flag down.
Here we go.
Say that
this is our
gone.
land. We've taken control of it away from the transnational criminal organizations that were using it to facilitate illegal immigration and drug smuggling. Governor Abbott declared over the weekend.
What does he mean by our land?
Texas.
Does it mean like me as like a U.S. citizen? It's our land.
It means Texas, motherfucker.
You can't do that. We've already fought a war over this.
You're like, I'm way up in New York. Fuck, man. I don't want to put my flag down.
You can't do that. You just can't do that.
Oh, God.
You can't claim land
with a state flag.
Yeah. It's against the rules.
The Rangers beg to differ.
Well, They haven't been that good since fucking Nolan Ryan. Right?
Here we go. British actor arrested at home and raided for promoting removal of the ULEZ cameras. Those are the fucking cameras that are watching everybody over there now. And the guys that are destroying them are called Blade Runners.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
It's great.
They popped a dude in Wisconsin he has a YouTube channel, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll be getting popped soon. It's going to be great.
Nobody watches.
Nobody watches us anymore.
Nobody watches. So they popped a dude in Wisconsin who had a YouTube channel about guns. And he had some advertisement that was like a conversion kit from semi to auto, right? And it's like throwaway, disposable, right? And he was like, advertising it, right? And he got popped. Which,
wow. Well,
I mean, I don't even know how they proved this led to any sales or where these sales were happening or,
well, what state was it?
He was in Wisconsin.
Scotty boy.
Yeah, but it was on the internet. So it's like
federal ATF get him?
Was it the ATF? I thought it was the FBI.
Huh.
Yeah, but the thing is like, all right, so how do you maybe his clients are in fucking, I don't know, Paraguay. I don't know the gun laws in Paraguay, except I don't think they have any.
I'm pretty sure you're in Scotty, you should be fine.
I thought so too, but he got popped for it. Whatever. I don't know.
They're coming
just for reading an advertisement
for your children.
And that's crazy because like I've seen advertisements of things in New York that I know are illegal here, but they're not illegal everywhere, right?
Like nunchucks or something like that.
Exactly. I mean, remember in the back.
Switchblade.
You've seen those advertisements for switchblades and fucking butterfly knives and.
Yeah, Hustler don't get in trouble for that.
No, exactly. That's what I'm getting at, right?
They don't print Hustler New York.
Yeah,
Hustler New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there's firework ads back there. I mean,
oh,
what the fuck,
God.
they were illegal at one time.
Fucking Marvel, like Captain America got me busted. Got fireworks in the back.
Did. I can remember the advertisement. Remember the fucking sea monkeys? Right?
They were in every issue. Yeah.
Spy glasses or X-ray glasses.
The X-ray glasses. I never got a pair.
Me neither.
I wonder if they work.
I did order some shit from the back of those. I got the sea monkeys. I got some parachute guys.
The parachute guys are the best.
Yeah, they were.
Making some dudes fly around.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got here? I think it's time to wrap it up. We got 10:08.
Alrighty, I can catch Stewart's, even though I don't need to.
I need to. That's why you reminded me. That's a good thing that we start wrapping up early so we can do the before everything closes gathering.
Right.
But you've been gathering early so you can stay late.
It's true.
You're a smart man.
I was ready yesterday, too. Fucking ready.
Yeah, but we got better news today. You always have that advantage. You wait one more day, you might get better news. Kevin McCarthy got ousted.
That's right. He got ousted. He got ousted yesterday.
Who knows where that puts us?
What do you mean what's before it knows?
Oh, no. He did get ousted yesterday, but today we got to find out that Donald Trump may be Speaker of the House.
Yeah. When people first started talking that, I was like, there's no fucking way this is real.
Dude, if that happens, I might start believing in that fucking Q stuff again. I'll be like, wait a second. This is what kind of they were planning on.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird that
because you know what he could do if he was Speaker of the House? A lot.
A lot.
Impeachment.
Oh, impeachment. He could do a lot.
He could like
basically
Mayorkas, fucking DOJ there, fucking
right. And this is something where like
no money for the FBI, no money for the CIA.
As shitty as Nancy Big Tits Pelosi was,
the heavies.
She knew where she stood the whole time. She knew the numbers. She knew how much she needed. She knew how much she had.
That's why they booted her out of that office, though,
Why?
because she was supposed to help McCarthy.
Oh, well, she didn't help him.
No, and that's why, like, the day, like, a couple hours later, like, get the fuck out.
Right. I saw Newt Gingrich had some bullshit to say. Fuck you, Newt. How about that?
Yeah, Newt. Yeah,
Go
I
fuck
thought you
yourself.
were a fucking cool guy, but not obviously you're just fucking uniparty scumbag.
That's exactly what this is, because that's all McCarthy was. He was a
uniparty scumbag.
Yeah. He was a rhino, Republican in name only,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't doing anything. He was winning there when you're wearing Ukraine flags, right? Saying that Trump was fucking guilty of this and that. Yada,
Yeah.
yada. He was not a team player, unless the team was the Democrats, I guess you could say, right?
Or the uniparty.
Or the Uniparty, the military-industrial complex.
Military industrial. So, anyways, yeah. What kind of fucked up shit could Trump do if he was in there? A lot.
He would give
No
him
money for
outlet.
anybody he don't want money
Yes.
for.
Yep. I don't want to bring that up, so we're not bringing that up. That's not today's business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think what we're gonna do is we're only gonna fund the troops. That's it. Millie, go fuck yourself. You're not a trooper.
What did Millie say this week?
Oh yeah, that was something. Something Trump was saying he was a traitor or something like that, or he deserves to be fucking. I didn't even get into it, but he said something to besmirch Millie's name.
Trump said something to search Millie. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Millie said something about Ukraine that was not what
Dog whistle.
It was not what people wanted to hear. I can't remember, but I remember like the defeatists were saying, "Oh, that's the thing." I wasn't very sure.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting week if because they only have supposedly a week. Well, they have as long as they want to get a speaker in there, but they're like if they don't get him within this first week,
It's scheduled for Wednesday.
mm-hmm. If
Next Wednesday.
it doesn't happen, then it could shut down the government.
Could take a couple days. The government's got a check up until the 17th of October, so they would have to pass another bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's something I learned that we had a record. Our national debt went up a record amount in a short period of time this week.
Well, we just gave a shit ton more fucking money.
That's
to
what
Ukraine.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going into Haiti for some fucking reason.
Was it found gold?
I don't even know. What's the gain? I mean, Haiti is unstable, sure. It's the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere. We're not going to help it, so get that delusion out of your mind. There's one guy that we can target that I'm aware of that's like a warlord, but if we target him, then a lot more people are going to die because of the services he provides, right?
Well, I don't understand. Maybe it has to do with that big boat of cocaine.
What, in Ireland?
I don't fucking know.
Nah. It's got to do with Navassa.
Navassa?
Navassa Island.
Oh, strategic fucking
No.
military fucking.
Sort of. All right, so Navassa Island is in the Caribbean. It's made of limestone. What do you do with limestone? You powder it and put it on dead people. Fucking, it's deserted, right? There's a lighthouse there that they used to use. It's contested territory
Oh,
between.
this is the one you've been talking about for months.
Yeah, it's contested territory between the U.S. and Haiti.
It has nothing to do about that island. Everybody, go to bed. Good night.
We're gonna take that fucker. We're gonna finally take that fucker and say fuck you.
Why? Why? Just because we
Because we can.
chalk powder out of it and put it on people?
Well, you can't go there unless you get cleared from the State Department.
This was the pirate island
Yep.
you're talking to me about.
Yep.
They want maybe there's some gold there,
There probably is, and dead people.
and they want to find a dead person.
I don't think they want to find.
They want to identify a dead person.
I think they just want the fucking island.
Jimmy
I guess
Hoffa
is-
down there.
No, Jimmy Hoffa is definitely not down there. I can't say that for sure, but how the fuck did he get there? Anyway, it's just a spot in the U.S. where
You're convinced that they want this island.
they have it. They just don't completely have it.
It's like the skirmish with China and fucking
It's a way that they've been smuggling people out of fucking Haiti.
Russia keep fighting over
It's like this.
in the background.
You're in Haiti. I steal you. I bring you to this island. Did you leave Haiti? Can Haiti claim that island?
So it's basically like a fucking
loophole for smuggling.
Washing.
Yes.
You're washing. It's smuggling.
Yeah. Well, Haiti can't say you left Haiti when you're on the Bass Island because they claim the Bass Island, but so does the U.S.
Why the fuck does the U.S. want to smuggle people out of Haiti?
I'm not saying that the U.S. does. I'm just saying certain people have smuggled people out of Haiti over time. And that was one of the ways they did it.
I remember something about that.
Something about that.
A while back.
It's probably marked over in that winery.
They probably got a fucking airstrip waiting for them coming in.
I can't believe that bitch got married across the river. It's so fucking scary. Like, fuck, they're close. That's way too close.
It's just too damn close. Go back to Arkansas.
Yes, go back to Arkansas. That was nicer. You're upstate.
Go
now.
on,
I
get.
don't like it.
Get.
Go
Go
on.
on.
Go on.
Go
now.
back to Arkansas.
Go on now. Get. You Ozark motherfucker.
Go on now. I said get. Oh, boy. All right. Got anything else?
Scan the brain.
Any good news?
Nah.
Movies?
Can't remember. I've been watching horror movies because it's October. And there's one movie I've been trying to find. And it's about this crone out in the Catskills. All right?
You can't remember the name of it?
No. But I can't find it either. It's about this crone. I remember a movie I watched. Like
Is a crone a Japanese clone?
A crone is usually refers to an old woman that has magical powers.
Okay.
Usually childless, Anyway, so these couple, they go into the Catskills, they find a crone, she haunts them. I've been looking for that, but I did watch the Poughkeepsie tapes this week. I don't recommend it.
That was basically a was it a continuation of
It was like Blair Witch.
Yeah, Blair Witch.
Serial killers.
But different.
Yeah, there was serial killers. Now, the premise is that there's a serial killer and that he's basically an FBI profiler, but not, right?
So, hold on now. You don't recommend it because it scares the shit out of you, or you recommend it?
I don't recommend it just because it was so fucking disturbing. There's a lot of torture scenes.
Yeah, so gratuitous violence for it's not serving the plot. They just want to gross you out.
Kind of, yeah. It's loosely based off of Francis, right, or Francois, the guy who broke the color barrier amongst serial killers.
Okay.
But that's very loosely, all right.
Did you watch?
Anyway, the Poughkeepsie tapes, very gory. It's about a mass murderer, right? And they went to. It's like Blair Witch, but they went the extra mile, where they don't even give you the actors' names. It's just the person that they portrayed in the film,
right?
And they created fake websites around it. So if you go and look it up, you're find out what these people are doing today when that never really existed.
It's like a big art project.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to watch the Pope's Exorcist?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit, fantastical, right?
Right. Well, that's why I liked it.
But beyond that, it was good.
Yeah, I liked Russell Crowe as a friggin' Italian fucking priest, exorcist.
Pope's Exorcist, yeah.
He was all right.
He was all right. I'm not sure exactly who that's supposed to be, if that's supposed to be Malachi Martin or not, or the guy after him. It might be the guy after him. I also saw Padre Pio, which was pretty good. That was Shia LaBeouf, right, I believe.
I wanted to watch that. I watched.
Pretty good.
I think I started it, but
it's it's slow. It's what it's a saint's life, so it's not like the most exciting thing.
They're not jumping through glass windows with
No,
explosions.
there's not a lot of that. But it was good. I always thought he was a fascinating character because he was a saint in our time, right? I was alive at the same time he was.
Any Halloween movies to recommend for people this month?
Lost Boys, The Lost Boys.
Ooh,
I always recommend The Lost Boys. It's one of my favorites.
that's a good one.
I don't like
Oh, you know what I just saw the other day?
What?
Silver Bullet.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that in
Speaking of Corey Haim.
fucking 50 years almost. Oh, not that long. 30 years.
Fucking Gary Busey is the crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. I'm going to go watch that. Corey Haim's it's his death date, I believe, today.
No.
I saw a bunch of things on, Facebook.
You know what else was on the 4th, I think? What? Or was it the 5th or 6th? I'm trying to remember. That Las Vegas shooting that nobody gives a fuck about.
Oh, anymore? The one that
just went
Jason
away.
Albertine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concert. Yeah.
Guy was
There
were so many things wrong with that.
Speaking of conspiracies.
Yeah, there was just so many inconsistencies with that. I mean, it's like 9/11. So many. But that was a conspiracy theory that you would get chastised for. Maybe that's when it started.
What? 9/11?
Yeah, because I remember like we were all hanging out, and then all of a sudden they found the passport. And I distinctly remember saying, "Fuck this. Fuck that. What? Fuck you. Fuck that."
And everybody around you was like, "What do you mean?"
Well, you guys were around me, and they were like, you guys were definitely the same. You guys were like, what do you mean they found a Saudi passport?
I remember that, yeah. That, to me, was just ridiculous. There's too many coincidences, too.
Yeah,
With like,
all of a sudden it was
oh,
like...
today's the first day we've ever lost black boxes in the history of aviation. Oh, today's the first day 3 buildings fell to fire ever in the history of architecture.
Right.
It's like, oh, today's the first fucking day for a couple million other things that don't make sense.
Real quick, here's something. And I never thought of this because I'm not a pilot. But those guys have a switch, a hijack switch, button when they get hijacked. Nobody hit it.
The same as why did we get this fucking emergency broadcast system bullshit? Didn't work on 9/11. Didn't work on J6. Didn't work fucking. It never fucking works. It didn't work in fucking Hawaii.
What was the point of it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
This is what I'm wondering, man.
But does the fucking emergency broadcast system ever worked in an emergency? No.
But what emergency is going to affect Alaska and me at the same time? What emergency is affecting Guam and Florida at the same time? I mean, that just seems like that can't be any natural thing, right? Because that's fucking everybody dead on the planet, right? If you're affecting Guam and Florida all at the same time, no fucking way, right? Everyone's dead, right? It has to be a man-made emergency.
Well, it's also probably just to keep fucking stats on everything they can keep because they love it. They love stats.
Like I had a conversation about this today when it was happening because I was on the phone, and the person was like, "Well, maybe they just want to test all the regional ones, and this is just easier to do it all at once." I was like, "Well, how would they know the regional ones work then? If they're going to test all of them at once? I mean, what emergency is going to affect 12,000 miles? This is what I'm wondering."
Well,
right?
the other thing too is that
maybe not 12,000.
It wasn't even put into place until I think Obama. That was redefining of a cell phone as a radio, basically a communications radio.
Really?
Yeah. That's what basically the emergency test was for radios.
Yes.
And fucking broadcast. Yeah. Why the fuck is it going on your phone?
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system in the event of a real event. In the event of a real emergency.
In the event someone has a magic wand and can bring back all those jobs.
Yeah, I love how like Democrats just forgot about that.
That quote?
Yeah, because now they're claiming Biden did it.
Yeah, by fudging the numbers as well, because there's like he's saying 13 million he brought back, or
fudged or not, the Democrats would have to admit that Obama was wrong.
Right, that's a good point. That's a good way to use it, and then they'd be like, "Well, no, well."
I mean, Obama said the jobs are not coming.
He also said Russia's the least of our problems.
Who did?
Obama. He was like, "Oh, you must live in the day of the Cold War."
I remember that.
Yeah. Fucking bummer.
I don't know if Russia's the least of our problems.
Well, it's just funny that he was saying that 4 years before fucking all of a sudden he
Crimea got invaded.
or fucking Hillary was like,
Russia.
Trump is a friggin' Russian agent and he's taking control of our country.
Yeah. Well, she got her hopes up, you know.
Oh, God. All right, we got to roll.
She got her hopes up for no reason.
What time we got here? I'm not going to fuck myself.
Yeah, we got to go. So we're going to go.
We love you all.
I don't really care about you.
He loves you too.
I don't know you probably.
I'm going to make some shirts.
We
got to make shirts this week. You got to come by. We got to make shirts. I'm like getting on a shirt kick. We got to fucking get some new ones up there.
We'll set a time and a date, and I'll be here. Can't come tomorrow.
I want a shirt that says, "My mental illness is better than yours." That's for all you woke fucks.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, what was the other one? Yeah, the fucking Starbucks. Compelled speech started with Starbucks.
Yeah, what was their deal? Latte, venti. Wait, what?
Grande.
Grande. I don't know. It wasn't English though, right? It was like Latin.
Yeah, something. They're trying to make you speak different.
They were trying to be cool. How Seattle.
How compelled speech.
Jordan
Peterson was on Piers Morgan and cried the other day or something like that.
Again? What the hell are you crying about, Jordan?
I don't know, to show how much of a man he is, maybe.
Okay, whatever. Whatever.
Only real men can cry.
I wish I gotta start doing Jordan Peterson impersonations. I gotta try that one.
You think you got him?
I know enough of his vernacular.
Well, it's like, is he high? He's kind of high,
He's
like
high
that,
pitched,
and then
he's
right.
high pitched.
Soul, and he does a little Canadian stuff.
He's got a little Canadian in there. Yeah. You can hear it once in a while.
I think that, so if you were to question the, you could probably get him pretty easily.
It's kind of whiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check the order.
Like fucking,
And you would have to check the order to make sure that everything was operating properly.
If you wanted a Whopper,
but of course, in order for it to be order,
you're going to want to get it with cheese.
there would have to be a hierarchy.
A hierarchy of cheese.
Where the lobsters clean the rooms. I saw this. All right, so this woman made a video. She was a leftist. And she was like, I'm going to go to Jordan Peterson and protest and da-da-da. And then, she didn't post something again. And then somebody asked her how it was going. And like a month later, she's like, well, I cleaned my room.
Jesus.
The postmoderate mindset
of the cheeseburger. It says that you can't have.
I found this very personal in my life. Yeah, I'll have to work on it.
Okay. Are we going to do anything for Halloween? When is Halloween?
I got shit going on.
Come on, man. We could dress up for Halloween on the show.
I'm doing the NPC.
Okay, don't say anything. We don't know what he's going to be yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Unless anybody can, like, fix that volume and drag out the fucking what was going on
underneath my breath there. Yep.
Okay, everybody.
All
smash it.
Put your balls right
Rub
up
it. Fucking teabag that like button.
Teabag it. Shit on it.
Sniff it.
Took a big dump on your pewter. Phone.
Yeah. Phone.
Yeah.
Just smack it.
Smack. Then you punch the person next to you as hard as you can.
Just turn right around.
You blast that fucker. Then you loot that body. You loot that body once.
Turn him over. Get the wallet. Pull out the wallet.
Go down to Atlantic City.
You loot that body. You loot it. Holy Christ. All right, everybody. We love you. Thanks for watching. Once again, we'll be back whenever.
Sometime.
Remember, wherever you go, there you are.